Good morning, mathematicians. We are looking at Lesson 5, Multiply a Unit Fraction by a Non-Unit Fraction. And today we're going to think about taking our equation and modeling it in the diagram to find a value. This says find the value of 1/3 times 4/5. Explain or show your reasoning. Use the diagram if it is helpful. We're going to go ahead and utilize the diagram so that we can see how that diagram might be helpful and certainly how we could show this on a diagram. I'm going to take my first factor of 1/3 and I'm going to show that vertically in my square by showing it in the columns. How many total columns should my whole have? It should have 3 because that denominator is 3. So now I see 1 column, 2, 3 columns, right? Now how many of those columns should have shading? 1/3 of my whole should have shading, and certainly now I see 1 of the 3 columns with shading. Now let's take a look at our second factor. Our second factor is 4/5. And I'm going to show this horizontally in my whole because I am going to shade 4 of 5 rows. So here I have 1 row, 2 rows, 3 rows, 4 and 5 rows. Now I have my denominator reflected in my whole, but I need to shade 4 of the 5. So I see 1 shaded here, 2 shaded here, 3 shaded here, and 4 shaded here. Do you see 4/5 of the rows shaded? Indeed we do. Now remember, oftentimes when we model this, we do not keep it like this. We may not see it like this. Really, the area that is most important for us to focus on is where we see the overlap. So the overlap in this shading occurs right here. I see 1 rectangle, 2 rectangles, 3 rectangles, 4 rectangles with the overlap, the green and the blue shading. Now I'm going to go ahead and erase the entire shaded row and column because I want you to see this is the area that had that overlap. So this is where my answer lies. This is where I find the product of both of those factors, right? This is why so often this is the modeling that we see. I still see shading in 1 of the 3 columns. I still see shading in 4 of the 5 rows. I just don't have to continue to shade the rest of the row or the rest of the column, right? Now, what was the equation that we were solving? The equation that we solved is this right here. We were finding what is 1/3 times 4/5, right? Because we weren't doing 1/3 times 1, we were only taking a portion of it. So we're asking ourselves, what is 4/5 of a third? Or we could reverse those and certainly still have the same equation. We could put the 4/5 in the beginning. It doesn't matter. Now we do want to actually have the answer here because we were asked to find the value. That means we need to know the answer. Well, we have already zeroed in on our product where we see the overlap. We see the overlap in 4 of our rectangles, right? But what we need to ask ourselves is, how many rectangles does the entire whole have? 4 of how many have shading? Well, I could count these for sure, but I could also see it as a 5 by 3 array, which tells me that there are 15 rectangles. And certainly if we sit here and we count all the rectangles, we're also going to get to that same answer of 15 total rectangles in our shape, right? Now, boys and girls, we have created a model so that we could take a look and see exactly how we could utilize this whole to create a diagram to show our answer. But we do need to make sure that we explain or show our reasoning. The diagram is a great way to show it, but let's also give just a sample response here. We could say that there are 4 shaded parts, and each of those parts is 1/15 of the whole. In all, that means there are not 5, here we go, 4/15. Now below, I'm going to go ahead and write this 1/3 times 4/5 equals, and I'm just going to restate this, 4/15. Okay, boys and girls, well, this is a great example for how you could utilize the diagram. Remember, you don't have to utilize the diagram to certainly hit mastery on your explanation today, but we do want to understand how we could utilize the diagram. Boys and girls, that finishes up our Lesson 5 Cool Down.